Tommy, I can't believe it.
I cannot believe you guys are here. Thank you so much. Truly, thank you. Thank you. Come and have a seat. I'll move Douglas a little bit or not. I loved when you had to depart the show to take care of some personal stuff. What encouraged you to, like, return?
Well, Drew, what a journey for this Kansas boy. That's all I can tell you. My mother had been sick for 4 years. She had terminal cancer. Very close to my mother. Talked to her almost every day. And the decision is my stepdad said, do you want to know if it's bad? And I said, yes, call the producer. So it was a morning that I woke up and a producer came and said, a guy named Brian, very good man, said, I need to talk to you. And I'm glad he was the one that did it. And so as soon as I was walking with him, 3 steps, I knew something had happened, and my mother had passed that morning. And you go, what can I do? And I said, I'm going to talk to Joan. And they had this on film, and Joan said, you're going to do this for your mother, but also for your stepfather. He needs you at this point. He didn't have any kids. And so it was just a no-brainer.
The fact that you got to engage in that kind of depth of what builds a life, how relationships are tested, how we should behave, and what actions do we take in that moment seems not heightened television, but much more day-to-day.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, his mother passed away. And, how we handled this early in a relationship is important. That I said, you go, and he actually asked me if he should go, and that it was a conversation. And we really weren't that far along in our relationship, but we were farther enough along that, like, I knew, in my heart, I knew if he didn't come back that I wasn't going to be able to finish the show.
Oh, really?
I felt like he was the one, and that there would always be a big question mark if he didn't come back. So
how far into the process?
It was about 3 weeks.
Yeah, we were about 3 weeks into it.
And then you've been together now for how long?
Since we...
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you learned in that time that you may not have known when you made this decision to be together forever? Because
Oliver, nothing big but little things.
Right.
She'll spend an hour looking for a parking spot.
He takes the farthest one out and doesn't care.
I don't take her cell phone charger under any circumstance. None. Yes. She picks out my clothes. And we're at a good point in our lives.
So there were no red flags, meaning like, oh my God, there's those little things sometimes can affect an entire relationship.
But your discoveries are palatable. It's not like, oh my God, may I ask, what is the hardest thing? Because it can't all be, easy street.
Right.
Yeah, right.
What's something that you were like, okay, we're going to have to deal with this?
Right.
We knew as mature adults what we were getting into. We knew that we're going to live at other places for the time being. So the only challenge really right now is the travel. And besides that, it's all good. But we've been seeing each other almost every week.
So what are those maybe little things that might seem like they don't build a relationship, that are more on the surface? And what are the things when you're older you look for because it's a part of how a relationship works?
So I think your family mostly.
Well, family, the importance of family, your morality, your ethics, your compatibility. I use that C word all the time, going, you've got to be compatible. They all go, well, you guys still having sex? Yes, every chance we get.
I love it.
We talked about that.
We have talked about it. You and I have talked about
it.
Yeah.
John was on my podcast.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the questions that I asked you, actually.
I know. You kind of warmed me up to that, and you asked me at the end, but I felt so comfortable talking about that because I think, we did choose to go on this dating show, and if we want to be really authentic about what the journey looks like and what the relationship looks like now, like, that's an important part of it. And like, to shy away from that and say, I don't want to embarrass my family or whatever, it's just not being fair to the process. And so I encourage talk about it. I think it's an important part of a relationship. Otherwise, he's just my friend. And I have lots of friends.
So knowing what you know now, what relationship, let me even give, I would say we're talking about dating a lot. Let's start there. What's some dating advice that you guys have? Because it's true, some of the other bachelors are like drinking and abs and like helicopters. And I'm like, oh, this is not a relationship builder. These are fun things.
It's fun, right? Yeah.
But relationships should be fun, but they do take work. And so what do you think about dating what's some advice you have? What are red flags to look out for, and what are things that you should be really putting stock in another person?
If I may, what I think you have to do, and this is just my opinion, you have to open up yourself, and you have to be ready. There's some people that say they want to date, but they're not ready for whatever reason. Past bad relationship, a death, anything like that. You really have to, and then you've got to let yourself out there. But then I'm a big proponent of, if it's not right, you'll know. Follow your gut. My mother used to say, do they make your life better? If they don't, run. Not walk, run.
Yes.
They have to make your life better.
What could you tell people to hold on to their hope? Like, what has this experience and finding each other taught you about not losing sight of hope? We can't afford cynicism in this life.
Put yourself out. Yeah. Just open yourself up.
Okay.
I wasn't looking. And, look who I ended up with. Lucky guy. So I do think, and you can, but if somebody says hi to you on an elevator, it doesn't hurt to say hi back. Somebody in the grocery store, whatever you're doing, just be nice to people and just start a conversation and say, hey, I like that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This is huge, by the
you guys
way.
are the best. This is awesome.
Joan and Chock.
Chock is the man.
Oh, thank you so much. And, we're going to actually answer some sex questions after this, because romance and love is also about intimacy and getting into all that taboo talk, and we're not holding back, so come back. You're going to be shocked.